Thanks for taking the time and filling out that quiz, because based on your answers, it's clear that you want to lose that stubborn weight and slim down once and for all so that you can be proud of the way you look. And that's an awesome goal. And in this video, I'm not only going to show you the 3 biggest weight loss mistakes that women in your position usually make, but also how to work out less, eat more of the foods you love, yet still kiss that lingering fat that hangs out in the most annoying areas goodbye for good. And when I say for good, I mean it. Because there's nothing worse than choking down salads while you're starving and running on the treadmill while you're exhausted, only to lose a little weight and then gain it all back the second you stop. I actually recently had a family friend come to me devastated by a very similar situation. And if you can relate to this at all, then I urge you to keep watching this video so that I can show you how to avoid this depressing path and actually drop that number on the scale for good. So her name's Kathy, and she's been a friend of my mom for years, and she's definitely always been a little heavy set. But a few months ago, when she hit 200 pounds, heavier than she'd ever been, she decided it was time to actually do something about her weight. So Kathy did pretty much what everybody does when they want to lose weight. She started running a few times a week after work. She started counting her calories and buying low-fat everything and avoiding all carbs. She sometimes would even skip meals throughout the day if she wasn't really that hungry or would just settle for a light salad. And then if she got invited out by my mom or any of her other friends, she just wouldn't go because she knew that she wouldn't have the willpower to turn down a proper meal or a few drinks with the gals. And like usual, whenever she started this weight loss routine, she'd start losing some weight. The first week, she actually said she lost 7 pounds, more weight than she'd ever lost in a week. Then the next week, about the same, another 6 pounds lost, and she broke 190 pounds and was feeling pretty good about what was happening on the scale, even though it was extremely brutal to stick to. But with those kind of results, she thought, who cares? It's worth it. And that's right about when things started to go downhill. The third week, even though she was religiously sticking to her 45-minute runs 4 days a week and even bringing salads to work that she meal prepped beforehand, she had only lost 1 pound. So even though that was pretty tough for her to see, she tried to stay optimistic because by now, in 3 weeks, she was still down to 186 pounds, 14 pounds lost. So still motivated by her results, she thought, no worries, time to take it up another notch. Now, she was running every day after work, taking her 2 little dogs for long walks in the mornings and even on the weekends, and cut her calories even lower. And even though things just got increasingly more difficult to stick to, she was ready to lose another 6 or 7 pounds this week and break 180 for the first time in years. Fast forward just 3 days later, she looked at the scale and she had gained 2 pounds. Gained weight. She couldn't believe it. How can someone gain weight after getting more strict on their diet and cardio? So she convinced herself it was a fluke. It had to be. And she continued with the same daily cardio and the same calories. And even though she was looking down at the scale every single day in the bathroom for the rest of the week, and it tempted her to just step on real quick and see, she didn't weigh herself again until the end of that 3rd week. But then it was time. Hungry as ever, tired as hell, but proud that she just crushed the rest of the week and didn't give in to temptation of stepping on the scale for the previous 4 days. And that's when it all came crashing down. The scale read 192. She had gained 5 more pounds in a matter of just 4 days while doing daily cardio and basically starving herself. She was devastated, had no idea why she was gaining the weight back, no idea what to do next, and ultimately just gave up. And I honestly can't blame her. She was tired, she was hungry, and all this effort was for nothing. And over the next couple of months, she ended up gaining the rest of the 8 pounds back to get her back up to 200. And what's worse is she had lost all hope and just kept eating and gained another 15 pounds on top of that quick. Now, the reason I'm telling you this story about Kathy is because although she didn't know it, there's a few simple tweaks that could have been made to her weight loss attempt to not only make the results continue and last forever, but also make it way easier to stick to with less cardio and more food. And if you can relate to this story at all, and you've had your own experiences with all the too common yo-yo effect with your weight, or maybe you've never really given it a shot at all, in this video, I'm gonna show you how not only Kathy could have avoided this horrible disheartening attempt at losing weight, but how you can avoid this too and see consistent weight loss results week after week, month after month, with less effort than you probably ever thought possible. I'm gonna show you how I've been able to help thousands of women all over the world lose more weight in the first couple weeks than they have in their entire lives, and show you my simple strategies that make keeping the weight off long-term actually enjoyable. Now, if that sounds too good to be true, please stick around and maybe even get out a pen and some paper and take notes throughout this video, because I'm gonna make all of that a reality for you right now. Now, from what you've told me, you're primarily an endomorph body type, and I'll explain exactly what that means in a second, and how with just a couple slight tweaks, you can easily burn off those fatty, troublesome areas with ease. Because if you're like most endomorphs, most diet and weight loss plans simply don't work for you. And we'll dive into that here in a second, so stick with me and let's fix this for good. Now, before we dive in, I first want to take a second and congratulate you on taking a real step towards transforming your body and your health. By going all the way through the quiz, you've proven that you're ready for change, ready to create a stronger, more energetic body, and ready to burn off every last ounce of unwanted body fat, preventing you from feeling amazing. So, since you've already done your part, it's time for me to do mine, and time to show you the 3 most common fat burning mistakes that our female clients make, and 3 fat destroyers proven to burn fat faster than anything for your body type. And what's awesome about these is that they work even if you struggle with willpower and have never been able to stick to a weight loss plan, and you can use them to transform every single area of your body. Just like Megan did, and just like Courtney did, and just like Kelsey did. Just like the thousands of women who swore nothing worked for them did. But I get it. You've probably been here before, hearing that there's an easy new way to lose weight and that it works for other people, but it never ends up working for you. Well, the important thing to remember here is that all these women are endomorphs just like you. And that's actually a good thing, because endomorphs, in a way, have their very own weight loss superpower hidden inside them, but nobody ever knows or shows them how to turn it on. So today we're gonna change all that, because the story of how I discovered these 3 fat destroyers is both fascinating and a little heartbreaking. But the reason I wanna share it with you is because this story contains a breakthrough that you can use to get in shape and stay in shape for the rest of your life. Like I mentioned, you'll learn why every other diet you've tried has failed, why doing hours and hours of cardio is a complete waste of time for you, and most importantly, why it's not your fault or your family tree's fault if you've ever struggled with your weight. So make sure you watch this entire video right now, because I've had a lot of people message me saying that they accidentally clicked out of this page and then they couldn't find it again. So to save you from that trouble and show you these 3 fat destroyers that frankly you deserve to know about, sit back and relax. Now, before we get into more detail, I mentioned that you have an endomorph body type. What this means is you are what I like to call a metabolic marvel. And it might not seem like it because you're constantly in an up and down weight battle, but your body is actually amazing at speeding up and also slowing down the speed of your metabolism depending on what you eat, to help you conserve energy by storing it as fat on your body to help keep you alive in case of a food shortage. The reason why your body is like this is because way back in the day, I'm talking back in the caveman days, humans didn't drive their car to the grocery store to get some eggs and bread. No, we ate what we killed, and usually thrived during the warm seasons, but then sometimes had to go whole winters without food. And the only reason the human race survived is because our bodies were so good at storing excess energy from the food we ate in the form of white adipose tissue, also known as white fat. And this helped keep our bodies going when food was scarce. And on the other hand, as you could probably guess, many of the people who didn't have this metabolic ability died of starvation during winters or even during droughts. So you should consider yourself lucky to be an endomorph, even though it does make losing fat long-term very difficult, even when you do lots of cardio, especially around your hips and your thighs and your belly. In fact, if you've tried other exercise programs, it's likely they didn't produce good results for you. You might have even found that you gained a few pounds and felt worn out the whole time. This happens to a lot of endomorphs. And the reason this happens is because these programs don't address the root cause of your fat storage process. You're different than the people around you who lose weight easily. Endomorphs have a very specific set of challenges that need to be overcome before you can transform your body at all. But before I reveal the 3 fat destroyers to you, Let me quickly introduce myself and tell you the unusual way I discovered these amazing fat destroyers in the first place. My name is Vince Sant. I'm a certified personal trainer, author, speaker, and co-founder of two of the fastest growing fitness brands in the world. I've helped over 1.7 million men and women transform their bodies and their lives through easy yet proven health and fitness methods. And you might have even seen me featured on places like NBC or Shape Magazine or Live Strong or the Chicago Tribune or LA Times or Business Insider or Reader's Digest or Muscle and Fitness, just to name a few, all for my fitness and nutrition advice. And back in the day, when I was just a personal trainer at my gym, helping people lose weight and build muscle, it started happening. Every couple of months, I would get this one type of client. They'd always be super excited and smart and committed themselves to my methods, great clients to work with. But no matter what diet I gave them, nothing ever seemed to work for them long term. They might drop a few pounds quick, but that was short lived. And then after a month or two, they'd hit a plateau and the weight loss would stop dead and sometimes even start coming back on. It seemed like no matter what they did, they could never get below a certain weight. Of course, I didn't know it then, but looking back, it was so obvious that they were endomorphs. One client in particular tried 3 different diet programs during a year with no success, and also no matter what diet we tried, she always felt like she was starving as well. So she hated the diet. She wasn't even getting results from it, and then when it came to working out, things weren't any better. She hated cardio. She refused to lift weights, saying that she thought it would make her look bulky. So in the end, she stopped trying, saying she was meant to be fat. And I remember it like it was yesterday. She was super upset, ready to give up, but I couldn't blame her. And if you feel the same way, I can't blame you either. And I felt crushed. I mean, I literally became a personal trainer so I could help people. And in this case, I wasn't. But that wasn't the worst of it. Here's where it really hit me harder than I could have ever imagined. A couple months later, my mom calls me out of the blue and asks me if I could help her lose some weight. She said she'd been needing to lose 20 or 30 pounds, and guess what? It turns out, although I didn't know it, she was an endomorph as well. She is an endomorph. My mom was eating salads 3 or 4 times a day for weeks on end, going for long jogs a couple times a week, and just going to the gym to get on the elliptical when the weather was too bad outside, yet she still wasn't losing any weight. She would also go to our local Weight Watchers for some accountability on her weigh-ins, and even though she was doing everything she was told, everything I told her, the numbers on the scale would rock back and forth every week like a yo-yo. And these weigh-ins are in front of the entire class. So I hate even thinking about her embarrassment every time that happened. It was extremely frustrating, to say the least. Yet somehow I still believed that if she just stuck it out, if she stayed persistent and trusted the process, as I always said, the results would come. But all that changed one night when I actually went home to visit my family, and one night I was gonna pop in her room to hear how things were going and even give her a little bit of encouragement. And right before I opened the door, I heard crying. And as I listened closer, I heard my mom on the phone talking to my sister about how she couldn't understand why she wasn't losing any weight, how she was being so good and sticking to the diet and doing the workouts. And this is the part that hurt the most, how bad she felt that she was letting me down. Me, of all people. The woman has literally never let me down in my life, and I wasn't about to let her down either. So right then, I began a journey that led to reading every diet book, every weight loss guide, every clinical trial, every medical study in existence about nutrition, and got hooked on the metabolic science of body types. And then I began testing every fad diet and workout program you can think of. Vegetarian, vegan, paleo, keto, fasting, low carb, low fat, power building, bodybuilding, powerlifting, you name it, I tried it. I spent 3 years obsessed with finding the answer, trying to find the most effective and fastest and easiest way for endomorphs to lose weight and keep it off long term. And through all that research and all that testing, I discovered the 3 fat destroyers I'm gonna show you today. In fact, based on the research I'm about to show you, if you don't start doing these 3 fat destroyers, your body will continue storing more and more fat while you continue to accept that you'll never get that slim, toned body that you want. And I know that sounds a bit harsh, but nothing has worked yet. So what's gonna change if you don't do something that's drastically different? So let's get into it. Fat destroyer number 1, you have to confuse your metabolism. And what does confusing your metabolism have to do with losing weight? The answer, short answer, is everything. Because as I mentioned before, as an endomorph, your body is great at adjusting your metabolism. So you can hold on to as much energy in the form of fat as possible in case of an emergency. The reason, if you remember, cavemen. Now, you might already know that the most common form of energy that we use in our bodies are carbohydrates, which comes from foods like potatoes and breads and rice and pastas, basically all the good foods. And you might also know that to lose weight, you need to create a caloric deficit, which is a fancy way of saying that you need to burn off more energy than you consume, which is why one of the easiest and fastest ways to lose weight is to eat less carbs. This is why you may have even tried a low carb diet before, like the Atkins diet or the ketogenic diet or the paleo diet, and maybe you lost some weight. But if you're like most endomorphs, after about a month, you started to eat normally again because it was extremely hard to stick to and expensive at that. And all the weight that you lost came right back on. Does that sound familiar? Well, the reason why this happens is because once your body realizes it's running low on carbs, it doesn't just assume that you're trying to lose weight. That's not what's hardwired into our body's DNA. Instead, it starts thinking, holy crap, food and energy stores are getting scarce. And your body begins to slow down your metabolism by producing less and less leptin, which is your body's fat burning hormone. And this not only causes your metabolism to basically just stop so that you burn less fat, but it also makes it so that you store more fat from whatever you do eat. So what's the solution? How can you fix this? How can you overcome your body's ability to adjust your metabolism so you can burn off all the fat you want and get the body you want and be rid of those pesky weight loss plateaus once and for all? The answer is metabolic confusion. Metabolic confusion is an advanced weight loss technique developed by health experts where they take into account your body type's hormones to help cut a lot of fat in a few weeks without the worry of a yo-yo effect later. And it's that coupled with the next two tips that I'm gonna give you that are the perfect solution for endomorphs like you who want to lose weight fast without gaining it all back after. Now, you're probably wondering how metabolic confusion is so different than all those other diet plans out there. And first off, most of the weight loss diet plans that you hear about online or on TV either have a slow and sensible approach where they aim to help you lose about a pound a week, which over the span of 3 months is only 12 pounds, which is pretty slow and doesn't even attack the root cause of why your body type easily gains weight. Or they aim for fast yet temporary results where you lose 10 to 15 pounds in the first week or two and then gain it all back after and then some. Metabolic confusion does it differently. Rather than ridding your body of carbs altogether or cutting your calories too low, which actually slows down your metabolism and kicks you into what is known as the starvation response and is the lone reason why endomorphs like yourself gain all your weight back after following a restrictive diet, it reverses your body's root cause of fat storage by cycling your carb intake between low and high carb days so that you can turn your body's ability to adjust your metabolism into your own fat burning weapon. How it works is on the days that you eat low carbs, you deplete your body of its primary fuel source. And seeing as how normally there's plenty of carbohydrates in pretty much every meal nowadays, your body will have to turn to its secondary fuel source. It's like an airplane. There's the regular fuel tank, and that's what gets used most of the time if it's available. But if the regular fuel tank is low or empty, there's a reserve fuel tank. And the reserve fuel tank starts fueling the plane's engines with the backup fuel until the pilot lands and they can refuel. And when it comes to the human body, like I said, carbs are the regular fuel tank, but fat acts as the reserve fuel tank. So when your body is depleted of carbs, it'll turn to the next best thing to keep your muscles working hard and keep your heart beating. This is why you hear about low carb diets so often, because without carbs, your body is forced to use your fat stores for energy. But for endomorphs, this is a big problem if you do this for too long, because your metabolism is constantly aware of what you're eating. And if you stop eating the nutrient that's best designed to fuel your body, your metabolism will adjust and slow down so that you start using less energy on a daily basis. In turn, this will turn your body into fat storing mode and is the reason why you feel weak and tired and groggy when you don't eat carbs, and also means the weight loss won't last very long before you hit a plateau and gain all your weight back, especially since this type of diet long term is just not sustainable at all. So to counteract this, and this is the main reason why this works for so many endomorphs, right after your low carb day, rather than allowing your metabolism to adjust and slow down, you switch to a high carb day. and you eat tons of breads and pastas and potatoes and foods that no other diets allow you to eat, which is one of the reasons why this diet is actually enjoyable for so many different people. And when you do this, your body will quickly become aware and it'll reignite your metabolism like pouring lighter fluid over a barbecue, producing an explosion of leptin in your bloodstream, which is the hormone that skyrockets your metabolism. And once your metabolism is cranked up, instead of continuing to eat carbs and allowing your body to adjust to this overload of energy and store it as fat for a rainy day, you give your metabolism another sneaky surprise by going back to eating low carb. And you allow your supercharged metabolism to consume all your stored fat for energy rather than only some of the carbs you're putting in your body at that exact point in time. So you use these low and high carb days to manually adjust your energy expenditure to burn fat without hitting a plateau. So you start to see now why metabolic confusion is the perfect answer for endomorphs like you. This is one of the secrets that I've used to help thousands of endomorphs lose weight fast and consistently. And like I said, don't worry, this sounds way more difficult than it actually is. My clients are often amazed at how easy and enjoyable it really is to successfully do this. And I say enjoyable for two reasons. One, because of the weight loss that they experience that helps them feel better about how they look and how their clothes fit, and which motivates them to keep going. But two, because of how full they feel all the time and the foods that you still get to eat. Because with metabolic confusion, you never have to go hungry, not even for a day. On the low carb days, because you're tricking your body into using fat stores as fuel, you'll be filling yourself with extra healthy fatty foods to mobilize your stored fat, like eggs and bacon and steak and fish and avocados and nuts and cheese. And if you're worried about eating more fat, don't be. Contrary to popular belief, due to outdated research and scammy marketing campaigns by big food corporations who put fat free on everything nowadays, fats are actually crucial for weight loss. Because truth is, your stored fat is basically a buildup of fatty acids that didn't get used as soon as you ate them. So they entered your fat cells, then they combined with two other fatty acids and a glycerol molecule to create what's known as a triglyceride. And to make it easy to understand, triglycerides are very big particles that can't exit the fat cell and therefore get stored away and make up those stubborn fatty areas on your body that seem impossible to get rid of. Well, the cool part about this is that those triglycerides can be targeted and can be broken back down into their original fatty acid form so that they can exit the fat cell and be burned by the body for energy. And research has also shown that healthy dietary fat helps to break down existing body fat by activating the fat burning pathways in your liver. So what this means is that you can start getting rid of stubborn belly fat or lower back fat or whatever you've always struggled with by eating more delicious fats on low carb days. And just to prove my point further, in 2015, during a study at the University of Alabama, they took 69 overweight men and women and fed half of them a higher carb diet and the other half a higher fat diet for 8 weeks. The people who ate the higher fat diet lost over twice as much belly fat compared to the low fat group. So with metabolic confusion, you'll not only be burning your stubborn fat stores, but you'll also be strategically boosting your metabolism so you continue to lose fat as much as you want and you don't gain any of your weight back. Because in 2013, there was another study done in the UK comparing typical calorie-controlled diets against people using metabolic confusion. The results proved that metabolic confusion was superior to calorie-restricted diets for reducing weight. And the reason why is because metabolic confusion allows you to get all the fat loss benefits of a low-carb diet while still allowing you to eat carbs, which makes it far more sustainable and much easier to stick to, and virtually guarantees that you'll be more likely to keep the weight off long term because your metabolism isn't coming to a halt in the process. And there are dozens more studies like this, but for some reason they're never talked about. In fact, after watching this, tons of people ask me why this information isn't published in the mainstream media or on the news, and have even asked me if there's a reason it's not talked about. And I always say, well, there's a lot of money made off people whose health is suffering, billions in fact, and even more money made by major food corporations slapping that fat-free or low-fat label on everything to sell more product. But regardless of the reason, at least now you're watching this, so you're getting the knowledge that you need. Which brings us to your next fat destroyer, which is to avoid long, boring, steady-state cardio. Doing lots of cardio just doesn't work for endomorphs like everyone expects. You probably know that firsthand. My mom knows that firsthand. But knowing why
is the important part, because you probably know that one of the keys to weight loss is to maximize the number of hours that your body is burning fat, right? But what you might not know is that you can't do this by doing lots of cardio. Doing loads of cardio is bad for so many reasons. It makes you age faster, creates pain in your joints because it's technically considered a plyometric exercise because your feet are leaving the ground in an explosive manner, so it's bad on your knees. And it releases the stress hormone cortisol, which actually causes excess belly fat storage. In fact, a study published by Yale University where they studied premenopausal, non-overweight, and overweight women to see if abdominal fat had a direct response to cortisol levels. The results showed that women with abdominal fat have exaggerated responses to cortisol. Alyssa S., the lead investigator on the study while at Yale's psychology department, even said that greater exposure to stress may explain their enhanced cortisol reactivity. In turn, their cortisol exposure may have led them to accumulate greater abdominal fat. In that same study, Alyssa went on to say that these relationships likely apply to men as well. However, excess weight on men is almost always stored in their abdomen. On the contrary, in premenopausal women, excess weight is more often stored at the hips. Therefore, for women, it is possible that stress literally might influence body shape more than for men, leading to abdominal fat instead of lower body fat accumulation. So basically what this study shows is that if you're hitting the gym and going for 45-minute runs on the treadmill or even hanging out on the elliptical for an hour while reading a book, the cortisol that's being released during this kind of cardio activity is actually causing your body to store more belly fat. Aside from that, when you do regular steady state cardio, you definitely burn calories while you do it, but the second you step off that cardio machine, your body stops burning calories altogether. And with maximizing the number of hours your body is burning fat being so important for actually getting in shape, you can probably see why people think that they have to do cardio every day, so their bodies burn extra calories every day. But I got something better for you. Something that allows you to say goodbye to steady state cardio forever, say goodbye to daily cardio forever, say goodbye to excess cortisol levels and belly fat storage, and that's by saying hello to EPOC. What? I thought you might say that. EPOC stands for excess post-oxygen consumption, and it's where your body burns fat 24 hours a day, even when you're not exercising, but you have to do it in a specific yet quicker way than regular cardio. The way to access the state is to perform extremely short but intense cardio intervals that get your heart pumping faster than steady state cardio ever could. For example, if you run up and down your stairs at home 5 times as fast as you can, you'd be breathing pretty hard, right? That's because your body is working super hard to pump oxygen into your muscles to keep you moving that fast. But the thing is, your body only has a limited amount of oxygen at one time until this reaches complete depletion. This is your VO2 max, and everyone has a different VO2 max level depending on how fit you are. But here's the important thing to know for getting rid of fat. Once you hit your VO2 max, your body continues to consume oxygen, and it creates what's known as an oxygen deficit. Now, what makes this so important is that your body is going to want to work overtime to replenish your oxygen stores, not just back to baseline, but higher than it was before you started your workout. And this process can take anywhere from 12 to 48 hours after you've finished. And this is an energy demanding process, which means you'll burn calories the entire time it takes to do this without even feeling it. So while a 45-minute steady state cardio workout will burn some calories during your workout, this type of cardio will take you 10 minutes and burn the same number of calories in way less time and continue burning calories for the next 2 days as well. And even better for you, the less fit you are, the better and easier this works because it will take you less exercise to hit your VO2 max and enter EPOC. This type of exercise is called high intensity interval training, or HIIT for short, and of course the science behind it is 100% rock solid as well. For example, in one study done in McMaster University in Canada, they took 27 people who did little exercise and made half of them do high intensity workouts for 10 minutes 3 times a week, while the other half did long cardio sessions for 50 minutes 3 times a week. The group who did the 10-minute sessions achieved the exact same weight loss results as the guys who did the 50 minutes of long boring cardio. Crazy, right? Yet every time you walk into a gym anywhere in the world, you see the treadmills loaded up with people jogging at one pace for an hour straight, putting a bunch of additional stress on their knees and their hips and not getting any slimmer because they're releasing a bunch of cortisol without even knowing it. And of course, all the other negative health side effects that come with it. But the thing to be wary of is that not all HIIT training is created equal. To reach your VO2 max and deplete your oxygen stores and burn the most fat in the fastest time possible, you need to do certain HIIT exercises at certain intervals and on certain days. And if you don't do the right ones on the right days, you'll be wasting your time because you won't trigger EPOC and burn fat 24/7. So in a second, I'm gonna give you access to the very best and easiest HIIT workouts for someone looking to lose weight fast. We're talking 10 to 15 minute cardio workouts just 3 times per week for faster results from less effort than you ever thought possible, and that's it. So if you absolutely dread treadmills like me, be done with them. Because I don't know about you, but wasting hours of my day and my life on boring cardio machines, especially for no results, is not my idea of fun, and I doubt it is for you either. So I know you'll love these HIIT workouts. Fact is, when you combine metabolic confusion with EPOC, the results will be amazing. You'll be dropping body fat so fast it'll blow your mind with how easy it is and make you wish that you had been doing this all along. But only if you properly use the last and most crucial fat destroyer I'm gonna give you, and that is to use an automated weight loss plan built for your body type. Look, you already know that there's no one-size-fits-all weight loss solution that works for everyone. We're all way too different, and that goes double for endomorphs like you and my mom and thousands of others. Plus, as you now know, your main weight loss challenge is being able to customize what you eat so your metabolism works to help you rather than hinder your weight loss. This is why you've got to be super careful with what diet plans you follow, because there's so much confusing and conflicting information out there these days. If you ask 10 different diet experts, what's the best way to lose weight? They give you 10 different ideas. Give up meat, give up dairy, give up grains. But what you need is for someone to take you by the hand and show you exactly what to do every single day to lose weight easier in a way that works with your one-of-a-kind metabolism. You need an automated solution that does the hard work for you. It tells you what to eat and makes it more enjoyable than ever before. It tells you when to work out and uses a less is more approach, and more importantly, supports and encourages you every step of the way so that you get the body that you want in the fastest amount of time possible and enjoy it. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Well, till recently, nothing like this really existed for endomorphs like you and my mom, which is why you may have tried numerous diets or fitness programs with no success for years. And this is why I created Fat Loss Extreme. And my team and I have used everything we've learned throughout the years about endomorphs like yourself and created the world's first automated fat loss solution built specifically for your body type. A system that's now helped over 1 million endomorphs in over 150 different countries drop fat while toning up their bodies and do it all in a matter of weeks without spending hours in the gym, without going on some diet that you hate, because the fat loss methods inside this program make seeing a year of progress possible in only 90 days. And best of all, it works at any age, no matter if you're in your 20s, your 40s, your 60s, or older. And the system was created for your body type. And it's so easy to use, it'll blow your mind. Literally, all you have to do is log in, and the Fat Loss Extreme system immediately gets to work showing you how to calculate your calories, then walking you through every single step of creating your weekly weight loss menu so you know exactly what to eat and when. And it makes creating the weight loss meals that you choose, depending on what foods are your favorite, easier than ever before with step-by-step instructions on how to make every single one of them. I'll show you exactly how to use metabolic confusion by implementing a carb cycling fat loss dieting strategy to make this the most enjoyable and most rewarding diet you've ever followed. And for the next 90 days, all you have to do is eat the meals that you pick every week and watch as your body is forced to strip fat incredibly fast and keep it off for good without starving yourself, without making you give up the foods that you love, and without getting frustrated at the lack of results in the mirror. So not only will you lose as much fat as you want, but you'll keep it off this time with no effort thanks to your now supercharged metabolism. And like I said, this is a 100% done for you system. The days of getting confused at what to eat and frustrated that you can't break your weight loss plateau are gone, because the step-by-step tools in the Fat Loss Extreme program make everything super easy. So all you have to do is follow along with me and watch your weight get lower and lower every single week. And when it comes to exercise, you'll be doing the absolute least amount of work needed to activate EPOC every day for 90 days and know the quickest and easiest ways to do it even after you complete the program. Plus, you'll get full automated videos where I personally show you exactly what exercises to do and when to do them and how to do them so you never get confused. And just so you know, unlike most workout programs that provide workouts geared for bodybuilders, I grew up in a family of primarily women, and I'm aware that you don't want to get that big bulky look. And that's why this program only includes exercises that create the fastest fat loss to trim and tone your body. Now, you'll also be getting my HIIT cardio system, which is where I give you the very best HIIT training exercises for fat loss, period. So you won't be doing daily cardio ever again. I don't believe in daily cardio, and it's not effective, especially for endomorphs. So with this system, you'll only need to do 3 quick 10-minute sessions per week, and you'll be melting fat 24/7. So if you hate cardio, it's all good. With this program, you won't have to step foot on a treadmill ever again if you don't want to. So if you've ever wanted to erase fat from your body while slimming and toning up your legs and lifting your booty and tightening up your arms and your core and everywhere with a step-by-step blueprint that makes working out and knowing exactly what to eat so easy, even a 5th grader could do it, and shows you how to do the least amount of exercise possible to burn all the fat you want in record time without burning you out or injuring yourself, then Fat Loss Extreme is for you. And what's even cooler is once you get this Fat Loss Extreme program, you can immediately access the entire system on your phone by just downloading our app. So you can bring it to the gym with you, or you can do it from your hotel room if you're traveling, or if you're old school, you can just do it from home on your computer, or even hook your computer up to your TV and do the workouts right in front of that. One of the things that have made this program so successful is that you can literally follow it anywhere. All you have to do is log on and let the automated Fat Loss Extreme system guide you to having the body that you want and dropping more and more weight and slimming down more and more day by day faster than you ever have. That sound good? Well, it gets even better because here's my personal guarantee to you. Give my automated Fat Loss Extreme system a try today and see how fast the stubborn pounds of fat that previously didn't seem to care what you do just melt right off your body, and see how much more energy you have as the fat that's been holding you down is now gone, allowing you to do more of what you love with more energy, and you'll be in a better mood and be able to energize the people around you and keep up with your kids, and you'll inspire others while you spend time with your family and your community and thousands of others who have already joined the Fat Loss Extreme family. And to show you how much I care about helping you transform your body, I want to give you something I know you'll love. 5 life-changing gifts for trying out Fat Loss Extreme today, and these are all strategically included to help you get even better results and make the whole process easier than it already is. The first gift is our home-based follow-along Fat Destroyer program, which is a $47 value, but yours completely free and included in your program today, because too many times I hear about ladies not achieving the body of their dreams because they're intimidated by the gym, or they don't have access to one, or they don't have time to go to one. Well, say goodbye to that, because with my brand new home-based follow-along Fat Destroyer program, you'll get a selection of my easiest but most powerful fat-burning movements so that you can do from the comfort of your own home. And when I say easy, I'm talking about 20 minutes max, and I'll be personally recording every second of every exercise and every rest for you and motivating you throughout the entire workout for 90 days straight. This bonus will guarantee you get the body that you want. Gift number 2, and one of the ones that our ladies love the most, the Booty Builder. And this is one of our best-selling female programs of all time, because something I learned in a family of women is that ladies are always wanting to lift and tighten their booties. So the Booty Builder is a step-by-step program that uses specific and science-backed exercises put together in short little workouts that will help shape your glutes and your legs and give you that lifted, perky, tight booty that you probably thought was completely unrealistic. So if you ever want to hit the pool or throw on a nice little dress for a night out or wear some tight-fitting jeans, you'll finally feel proud of the way you look. This is a program that sells for $47 as well, but you get it completely free when you order Fat Loss Extreme today. Gift number 3 is the 6-pack shred. And this is another super exciting one for our female clients, because along with shaping up your glutes, The next place women always want to strengthen and tone is their core, which is why I'm throwing in this program that takes you through a series of progressive yet super quick ab workouts. I'm talking 10 to 15 minutes that will take that annoying lower belly fat, or pooch, as my mom always called it, and replace it with a flat, toned stomach once and for all. This program is only available in our store and another $47 value, but yet again, yours free today when you try out our automated Fat Loss Extreme system. Now, gift number 4 is our best-selling fat loss recipe guide, which has 47 mouth-watering recipes that I had created by a professional chef to create the most delicious and healthiest recipes you've ever tasted. And I did this because I wanted to make sure you love the food you're eating every day on your diet and that you have a variety, because to be honest, I don't even like the word diet, because usually that means eating a couple different foods